Hey everybody, John here at Midnight Paint and Body Channel. On this video, we're going to be testing out this 8 kilowatt Bluetooth controlled diesel heater from Vevor. So Vevor has sent me one of these cool little diesel heaters. I've done a few of these kind of tool videos before, but I have to say that the stuff from Vevor I've always been really happy with. They seem to have some really cool stuff. So when they offered this up, I thought for sure, let's give her a shot. So this is Vevor air heater, 12 volt or 24 volt, 8 kilowatt Bluetooth app remote control diesel heater, constant CO monitoring, Bluetooth app plus remote, display panel operation, model number XMZ-2B20. So yeah, let's open this thing up and have a look. Accessory box, instruction manual, air vent, right, that looks pretty cool. So this is my first time looking at it. We'll get more into it, but I would assume this is air intake and this is exhaust. But of course we'll read up on it. Look at that. How cool is that? Remote control. Obviously the controller. Okay, power adapter. Oh, so fuel tank, obviously. Far out. This is pretty neat. Okay, air vent. Assuming that just attaches somewhere. Oh wow. Heat resistant sleeve. I'm assuming exhaust pipe. Whole bunch of hose clamps, wires. Well, all kinds of goodies. So I'm going to read through the instructions, and then yeah, we'll come back to it. I think what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to wait till morning before we fuel this thing up and fire it up. We've got some ideas on how to test it in the morning when the shop is nice and cold. So I'll see you guys then. Well, good morning, everyone. So I want to try this heater out this morning while the shop is still cold. So I have just turned the heat on, so it's still cold in here. Now I'm going to show you what I've got going on here. So well, first off, this might surprise you, but my state-of-the-art paint booth isn't climate controlled. So I don't actually have heat in my paint booth. Got a couple of heat lamps, but basically what I rely on is my radiant heat So when I turn the fan, I'd get it nice and warm in the shop. I turn my fans on the paint booth. It draws the air from the shop through the filters through my paint booth, and that's really how I heat it. So it's tough for me to paint, you know, when it gets to 20 below. It's hard to paint when it gets that cold. I just can't. So what I'm going to try with this guy, I have just quickly plumbed it into the booth. Just very basic. I have run the exhaust. Now, first off, don't try this at home. I don't know if this is going to work. I had this plastic hose, so it's nice and long. I have hooked it to the exhaust with a little adapter I made out of just some fittings I had. This might just immediately melt. I don't know how hot this thing's going to get, so I'm going to keep a really close eye on it. We might have to rethink this, but I had it, so it is just simply fed out through the bottom of the door. So now what I have done in here, so I've set up this little digital thermometer that I had. So right now it is 9.9 degrees Celsius in here. Switch this to Fahrenheit. So 49.8 Fahrenheit. So basically 10 degrees. All I need to do is add some fuel to this thing and turn it on. And then what I thought we'll do is maybe once it's running, we'll set this up for say 15 minutes and see how nice and warm it gets in here in 15 minutes with that heater. And then we can also turn the fans on and just see how quick it sucks all the heat out. Well, that's the thing. I've always got fans going in here, so when it's drawing the heat through, it's also sucking it right out of the building. But that is part of painting. So I went and bought a little diesel in a gas can. I'm going to fill up the fuel tank in this thing, which I guess on this side. All right, yeah, I'll add some fuel to this. We'll turn it on and see what happens. One other little thing I was going to point out before we turn it on. So this also comes with an adapter for 12 volt. So you could hook this thing up to a 12 volt battery, I guess. You don't have to actually have electricity. So good for camping or whatever. And then this looks like a nice extension for that LCD screen that's attached to the machine. So if this was permanently attached, say right there, I could move that LCD, put it up on the wall or something, rather than have it right on the machine. But let's power this thing on, guys. One-handed as usual.
Start heating.
Oh, it talks to you. Okay, so 48 degrees Fahrenheit, I guess, out here. So I know I can change that to Celsius. I'm in Canada, so I will be changing it to Celsius. Okay, so it says heating. Let me just look at the instructions here. Display time, run time, I'm not too worried about that stuff right now. When powered on for the first time, long press the oil pump button in the upper left corner of the LCD screen for 7 seconds. To automatically pump oil for 300 seconds. Okay, so upper left of the LCD. Oh, there it is right there. Okay, doing something. Alright, what else do I have to do? Long press the settings button for 3 seconds to enter the basic settings. Okay, so I'm going to just go through some of the settings stuff while this fires up, does whatever it's doing, and we'll see when she starts making some heat. Okay, this thing is starting to... I can hear it. Definitely doing things. So, that was only a couple seconds. I didn't actually get to any of the settings yet, but... Not yet. Okay, looks like it's still heating. Okay. So it's just started blowing. Warm, not super warm, but it's just started. So let's see. So 10.5 degrees. Or 50.7. It is 9:02. Let's leave this for, I don't know, let's leave it for 15 minutes. Or maybe it's time to heat up. Yeah, let's leave it for 15. We'll come back in here and see what that says. And just see how effective it heats a room this size, which is obviously quite cool here this morning. So I'm going to close up the doors in here and we'll come back in 15. So it's only been a couple of minutes, but I thought we should maybe go check our exhaust pipe. Oh yeah, it's definitely exhausting. It doesn't feel warm or anything, but you can definitely see the steam coming out of there. I think it's about -2, -1, -2 today, so it's cool, but it's not bad. All right, we'll come back to it in a few minutes. All right, 9:17. It's been 15 minutes. Let's go see what our thermometer says. Oh, 12.2. What did we start at? Should have wrote that down. It was 10, I think. So, it's definitely warmer in here. So, it's kind of a big area to heat when it was that cold. But it's a really nice heat that comes off of this thing. Actually, let's just... I think we'll give it another 10 anyway. Let's see. See how this does. Okay. 9:32, so I gave it another 15. So that's a total half an hour with this little heater going in here. Let's see where we're at now. Okay, so basically 15 degrees. Or 59 Fahrenheit. So yeah, now we're at 15. So 15 Celsius. So ideally you want about 70 degrees to paint. This warms up in here a lot faster with the doors open. I'm just keeping it like this, obviously, for our little test. But I will say this blows a tremendous amount of heat. Like I can't, yeah. I don't think I'd be able to just hold my hand there, so it gets too hot. So my plastic exhaust hose, don't do that. Like I said, that was just kind of a makeshift thing, guys, because I had it. Definitely don't use plastic. I'll show you my little bit of redneckery I came up with here real quick. It was starting to melt, so I've got a blow gun on it with really low air pressure, just stopping it from, I mean, it's okay, but oh, this air line leaks terribly. All right, so I haven't tried the remote yet. And there's another thing now, of course, the shop itself is warming up. As you can see, it's 64 degrees in the shop now. I don't think that's really coming into play in there in a closed room yet because it's not really warm. But obviously that's a factor. Let's try the remote.
Stop heating.
Man, that thing is super cool. I definitely am impressed. I love how compact this is. You know, it's just like a toolbox. You roll up that adapter, stick it back in there. The thing is completely self-sufficient, other than you've got the little exhaust pipe piece, which you would have to carry with it, and the vent hose. I do smell a hint of diesel off it, but in a shop it's fine. I think this thing, if you're out working in your, say, your unheated garage, your cabin, if you mounted this thing, I would mount it outside. But if you had this outside your garage, just with that little pipe plumbed in somewhere, that would be awesome. Or for a cabin, for a hunting tent. Yeah, that thing is good, man. So, Vevor. So I think what I will do with this, I'm definitely going to continue to use this. I think when I'm painting, you know, when it gets cold, I can turn this thing on, I can get my booth warm. I'm sure I would turn it off for when I'm working in there. But I mean, after I paint a car or paint a fender, whatever it is, then I could turn it back on and have nice heat heating up the booth. That makes everything cure up faster, so it's going to work great for me. So, if you're interested in one of these little heaters, there is a discount code right here. Save 5% from Vevor if you want to order one. There will be a link in the description to the Canadian site and the US site. I don't know the exact prices. Right around 200 bucks Canadian, and I think it was right around 140 US. Don't hold me to that, it's just roughly, so just kind of have so you guys have kind of an idea what they run. So for 200 bucks, it's awesome. Like I said, a hunting tent where you could just take this, hook it up to the 12 volt, fill it up with diesel, and have heat pumping into your tent would be absolutely fantastic. Or, like I said, cabin, garage, small workshop. I mean, you could have this thing blowing into your basement. But still, like I said, I would preferably have it outside. And that's something I could even still do in here. I could, because I've got a lean-to out that side of the shop. I mean, I could mount it outside there in the lean-to just with a small port coming in for that. So I just take it out there, hook up the hose, and start blowing heat into my paint booth. So very cool. So check out Vevor, guys. Oh, it was just talking to me again. Like I mentioned, I've got a few things from Vevor, and I've been super happy. I did a video a while back. I'm just going to show you real quick. I actually maybe should have demonstrated this thing again. But they sent me this airbag jack a while back. So you just hook up the airline and lift car. I rarely use my old hydraulic jack anymore. That is pretty much all I use. That thing is awesome. So you can check those out too, and they're affordable. And yeah, you can lift a 3/4 ton truck with that, no problem. So just something else to check out from our friends at Vevor. Hey guys, just a quick little follow-up on this thing before you go away. So I've used this a couple times now, and this thing is great. I really like this little heater. I still need to make a safer exhaust pipe, but I have found some steel pipe. I'm just going to make up a quick pipe that's going to go right out the door for when I use it. So it'll just be quickly, I can detach it and move this thing when I'm not using it. So when I'm doing a little paint work, when I'm done, I would just turn it on, and it is toasty in here. So I've got some paint curing on this truck. Oh, there's my thermometer right there. So here's the probe here. It's at 19.5 degrees in here, which is 67 degrees. So that is nice and warm. It's much better than I usually have in here when it gets cold out, and it's actually about -5 out today. So just wanted to give you a little follow-up. The Vevor diesel heater is really, really good. I really like it. So take that for what it's worth. So as always, guys, thank you for watching. Check out the link to the product. Use the discount code. Come check out my next video. I will see you then.